Hey boys and girls, Mr. Resch with your Core Plus number 13 lesson here. This is for advanced or regular class. Today's goal is to discover the significance of party control in the presidency, Senate, and House of Representatives. By now you're watching this video. Here's a quick preview. Again, this might seem a little overwhelming, but I assure you it's going to go pretty quick. Okay? So the first section, questions 1 through 6, are all from a video which I'm going to explain the answers for you shortly, but I wanted to preview it here. You're going to do a little work after the video instruction on working with the House and the Senate election maps. You will click on the link here to get to the election map of the Senate in the 2020. It is not yet determined, but we get some results by looking at state control here based on color, but also this key. So the key here for these questions below is to look at this key in the map. You will click on this link here to be brought to the map of Democratic and Republican control in the House using this key again to answer these 3 questions. The last thing I'm looking for you to do today is to watch a 9-minute video by our governor, yes, our state of Wisconsin governor, Tony Evers, and his newly issued Executive Order 94, which was passed on Tuesday, November 10th. I want you to watch that and summarize what happened in 1 to 2 sentences here. That should not be hard. Next, the last 2 things you're going to do for me that are required are giving me some projections. I want you to forecast or think, what is the best course of action for our state under COVID-19? Should we stay open 100%? Should we get rid of masks? Should we lock down tightly because the cases are out of control? Give me some reasoning there. Lastly, what should Neenah Joint Schools do based on Governor Evers' message? Should we remain open? Should we go green? Should we go red? Should we be yellow? And some reasoning. Okay, we're going to scroll up to the top and give you the first 6 or 7 parts answered for you. Lawmaking is something that is a pretty big deal in our country, and the 2020 election is a big part of how fast laws or how slow laws will be made. Let's take a look. Our lawmaking power lies in 3 areas. We have the House, so you're going to type that in here. We have the Senate right here, and we have the office of president. Type those in. Each of those 3 areas are in charge of our lawmaking process. Any law must be approved in a minimum of 3 places, with one exception, in order to be set into action. It must be approved in the House, right there, in the Senate, and then signed by our nation's president. Okay? However, laws must be, in order to be passed really quickly, necessary and good for this to happen. Otherwise, it usually takes several months, even years, for a law to be implemented. There's another way a law can be passed in our country. It is directly from the president. When a president issues what we call as an executive order, the law goes straight into effect and can only be checked by the judicial branch of government. Here's an example. Donald Trump in 2017 passed a law that banned travel from 7 Muslim countries. One of those countries was Iraq, and the other countries were in the Middle East. This was soon ruled unconstitutional and overturned because it was illegal to block people's free movement. Here's a third way laws can be made, and this is the hard, long, drug-out way. And by the way, this does not happen often. The third way a law can be passed is when it passes the House, passes the Senate, but gets rejected by the president. We call that vetoed. Vetoed. Then it gets overridden in the House and the Senate with a 2/3 vote. We can see this process here. Law passes the House, passes the Senate, rejected by the president, Biden or Trump, and then it goes back to the House and the Senate where it gets a 2/3 majority vote in both houses. It becomes a law. Okay, how does this quite relate to lawmaking and the election of 2020? Good question. If the House is controlled by Democrats, the Senate is controlled by Democrats, and the White House is controlled by Joe Biden, a Democrat, laws for the Democrats will be easily able to be passed, and Republicans won't be able to do much about it. That's why it's such a big deal to control the House, the Senate, and the office of president. The last thing you got to do for me, boys and girls, is